Hey y'all, it is Saturday, August the 13th, and I am hiking in the Curtis Creek region of Pisgah National Forest. This is actually the first National Forest track east of the Mississippi, and also one of the most overlooked sections of the National Forest here in North Carolina. I was in this region a few months ago doing the Woods Mountain Trail, and Curtis Creek is probably the most traveled recreation area of this entire stretch because there's a lot of big campgrounds, and there's also pretty easy access to a waterfall, which I'm doing today. It's actually just over the ridge. I can see it, but I'm assuming there's some people there. So I'm on the Hickory Branch Trail and about to see Hickory Branch Falls, and after that I'm going to keep going east where few people wander towards Lead Mine Gap and take the Lead Mine Trail north to Buckeye Knob, which apparently has views. I might on the way back tag Chestnut Wood Mountain, which is south of Lead Mine Gap, and after that, this is not a long hike. It's kind of an easy hike today because I'm testing my new shoes. I might hit up another waterfall or something later in the day. We'll see. I think this is only going to be 6 or 7 miles total. So it's humid. I should have worn long sleeves because I've already brushed against stinging nettle. But I just got these shoes a couple days ago. They are La Sportiva TX3s. La Sportiva is my favorite brand. These are a little bit more heavy duty bouldering approach shoes with a lot better grip and toe guards, but it's almost the same weight as my Ultra Raptors, so we'll see how they work. They should sweat a little more but provide a lot more protection. So next up is the waterfall. This is Hickory Branch Falls. Nice little 25-foot waterfall. I'm glad I did this after a good amount of rain the past couple weeks, because this would look a lot more pathetic in a low summer flow. Unfortunately, there's this big tree right in front of the waterfall. Maybe it's a hickory branch because it's called Hickory Branch Falls. Who knows? I'm gonna skirt over to this side and get a better angle. Better angle of Hickory Branch Falls. The trail beyond Hickory Branch Falls, you can tell, is barely used. There's a really heavy encroaching undergrowth of all kinds. But not too far beyond the main waterfall, there's this little side trail to this waterfall. And I haven't seen this mentioned in the book, the main waterfall book, or online sites. Maybe because, one, direct sunlight is terrible at this time of day for this, but also there's just so much brush and deadfall that it's really hard to appreciate this. But I can see another drop farther above that fallen log. It looks like this is probably about 40 feet high, and I have no idea if there are more drops above that, but they're not worth looking at. As you can see, the undergrowth along the trail is a lot denser, is partially covering the trail above Hickory Branch Falls. After I left that upper waterfall, the trail started a pretty difficult switchback section, climbing high above the creek drainage, and these kind of switchbacks are pretty common in this region. from the other trails I've experienced, like Heartbreak Ridge and Snook's Nose. I still have about 500 feet or more to get to Lead Mine Gap, which seems kind of crazy considering how much I've climbed already. But I should get there in less than a mile, hopefully. Made it to the end of Hickory Branch Trail at the junction with the Lead Mine Gap Trail. I'm actually surprised that there's this nice trail sign at this intersection, considering half of the trails in this area have been decommissioned or abandoned by the Forest Service. That was a steeper climb than I expected. It's 120. I've been hiking about an hour 45 minutes, but I think I stopped at Hickory Branch Falls for about 30 minutes because I was talking to a couple of guys. But I have been taking this slow because the trail has been so overgrown. I've been on the lookout for spider webs, snakes, and bears. Right now I'm going to turn left and go north on the trail towards Buckeye Knob. If I go south, that's Chestnut Wood Mountain. The trail's not supposed to be as well maintained in this direction. So I'll be straddling this ridge line, this north-south ridge line that sits around 3,000 feet. It's low for this area, but it feels high. The wind's blowing, and it separates two major creeks, Curtis Creek and Mackey Creek. So I'll be at Buckeye Knob in about 30 minutes. You know, I thought that once I attained the ridge line, the Lead Mine Gap Trail would be much wider and clearer than the Hickory Branch Trail, but this is some bad overgrowth on the trail. I can barely see it at times. No blazes, very narrow. You know, basically it's covered in these waist-high plants everywhere. It's getting pretty annoying. I already passed Buckeye Knob. When I got to the top, I didn't really see any obvious open views or rock outcrops. And to the north, I spotted the next peak over, which was tall and pointy and sharp, and I figured it would have something. So I kept pushing, and descending Buckeye Knob, that was an incredibly steep gap, and it's been so far a very unpleasant hike. The Lead Mine Gap Trail is, I thought the Hickory Branch Trail above the waterfall was pretty overgrown, but that was just the PG version of this. This is NC-17. This is just horrible undergrowth all along the trail. So I'm on top of that next peak, and I went a little bit farther that way, and there's no views at all. And it's a hard decision. I considered going north for about another mile where the trail ends at Curtis Creek Road and just taking the road all the way back, which would be so much easier, but it'd probably be about 3.5 miles. If I turn around here, it'll be tougher and horrible growth, but it'd be less than 3.5 miles. I think I'm going to turn around and just hold out hope that I missed whatever view I'm supposed to be looking for on Buckeye Knob. But right now I gotta sit down and refuel, see if I can make it. This has been about the worst hike I've ever done. It is 5:15. I was thinking military time there. And when I finish, it'll be about 6 hours of hiking. And I think I've only gone 7 miles. My feet are killing me. I'm all scratched up. I've never been on a worse trail than the Lead Mine Gap Trail in terms of condition. It was just bushwhacking the entire time. and it was no fun. My legs are burning. It was basically like 2.5, 3 straight hours of vines and small plants just tugging at your skin. Makes you want to wear pants, but it's hard when it's 80 something degrees with high humidity. There's a trade-off there. If I knew it was that bad, I would have worn pants, but normally in this kind of weather, that's too much sweating. You could get some really bad chafing if you wear pants in this kind of environment. The waterfall is really nice. The upper waterfall looks bad. It looked a little better on my way back without the sun directly over it, but I didn't even bother going to take a picture of it. I was just too tired. It's not like it's gonna look good anyway with all that deadfall. So yeah, if you're in the Curtis Creek area, you should definitely hike to Hickory Branch Falls. It's an easy 1 mile, really nice waterfall, easy to get down to, and turn around, seriously. You do not want to go up beyond that waterfall on those trails. They were awful. They should probably be decommissioned. That's in worse shape than almost every trail I've been on in the state. Anyways, guess it's time to take some ibuprofen and get some alcohol. I think after my last 2 weeks of really tough outings, I'm gonna pick something a little easier, a little bit more scenic this time. So I think my next video should be great. Later.